Lastly, I just okay. I got a little bit on the Jewish question. All right. No, because if you read this book, Lenin deals with it very seriously. In Russia, there was a group, not just Russia, but it was a Eastern European group called the Bund. The Jews were miserably treated in Europe. At times, they were run out of countries. 1300, all of the Jews were ran out of France. From country to country. They were set upon in Russia by a group called the Black Hundreds, which were very similar to the Ku Klux Klan or the fascists. The Jews was catching hell. And you know what? What used to be the case, and I think will one day be again, a disproportionately large number of the international proletarian socialist movement was composed of Jews. Oh yeah, that's right. Something we should think about. Well, Lenin, despite that, never gave any opportunistic concession to the Bund. He argued against them tooth and nail, and hard too. He didn't play, he didn't soft pedal it, because he said, look, you guys are not really a nation, and we need to defend you. We need to work with you, but we cannot make the theoretical and political concession that you are something that you are not, because that cheapens our theory. And he's right. And he was right. Now, following the Holocaust, talking about after World War II, 1948, Israel becomes, a formal state at the expense of the Palestinians. This is not, in my opinion, what Leninists seek to happen. Now, Stalin did go along with that, and everybody knows it, so I'm critical of that. It did not help. And so today, what do we have? A nation. Yes, they are a nation, and we have to recognize that, whether we like it or not, that acts more like an outpost of imperialism. And this is a tragedy. And this is something that's not easy to work against, because I can understand Palestinian nationalism, given the way the Palestinian people are cheated and treated by Israel. Okay, lastly, oh, by the way, I just wanted to share one more book with you. Oh! Excuse me. Getting old, okay? This book by Abram Leon is called The Jewish Question. One of the best historic explanations of the plight of the Jews that I have ever read. Really excellent. So you understand the question if you read this book. And this gentleman was executed by the Nazis during World War II. It's kind of sad, but he didn't turn his activism on and off. He continued to go full bore. Now, lastly, got to go. Here's a question that I don't have the answer to. Okay? But we do have to answer this. What do you do when you have a nation like the Ukraine? And this is when I knew there was a problem here in America. When I saw Mr. Barack Obama, everybody want to talk about Trump. Yeah, you better take another look at that Obama. Because all of a sudden he started talking about, well, we're going to support the Ukraine, this and that. And I said, well, what's going on here? And I don't claim to be the top-notch researcher. I just wanted to know. So I started searching, and guess who was in the defense minister of the Ukraine at the point in which they started the war with Russia was a member of something called the Right Sector. If I had my stuff together, I would have had this on, so you could see it yourself, because I want you to see. I don't want you to believe me. I want you to see it and absorb it and know that it's true. The Right Sector is a Nazi organization. So they had a Nazi a coalition between the Ukrainian nationalists and the Nazis initiating that war. Now, if you look at this map, you see the further east you go, the more Russian speakers, higher the concentration of the Russian speakers. And in fact, it's really tragic because they're, you know, over the years, there have been intermarriage between Ukrainians and Russians. And now we got this. So how do we deal with, this is a problem that is called interpenetrated peoples. That is, on the same real estate, the same piece of land, we have people, different languages, different cultures, sharing that same space. And here, this challenges us to understand what would be a just resolve for Ukraine. I don't claim to have the answer to that, okay? But it's something we have to give some thought to. And finally, I got to say this before Dave comes on, because Dave's going to tell us about Tibet and the northwestern region in China that is, excuse me, that is inhabited by Muslims and the conflict there. But I got to say this. This Hong Kong thing done went too far. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't want y'all to get me wrong. I don't want anybody to suffer or get hurt. But I want you to know, we gave a forum here and we talked about it. There are literal provocateurs working inside of the Hong Kong movement for democracy. And we have to just face it, that some of that stuff, that's not cool. You don't have people throwing firebombs at the police for democratically inspired peaceful protests. You don't have people beating almost to death the editor. Is this called the Global Times, Dave? Is that the right name of the paper?
Yes, that's a popular.
The Global Times is if you get it in America, is the English version of the Chinese Communist Party's information they share with us. They try to beat that man. I mean, I saw the video. Look, if you do things like that, there's going to be consequences. I do not agree with China. Well, that is with the PRC, with the Chinese Communist Party, of building up all this troop movement, threats. Not good. This is not the way to resolve a national question. But Hong Kong is not, and I say it clearly, not a nation. And the idea that Hong Kong, that we're going to go back 2,000 years to where you had city-states, it's not going to happen. Hong Kong is part of China, and I'm sorry, but that's it. Dave, with that, would you please join us?
You know, I have 6 minutes for a presentation, so I think I need to.
That's all the time we have.
So many things are happening.